1, 2, 3. Can I put your helmet on one time?
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
Sam, can I put your helmet on one time?
Sure. Hey, Tanisha. You're the best and everything. I'm gonna do a push.
Oh, my head's too big.
I might be able to adjust it.
Oh, I don't want to adjust it. It's adjusted for you.
My head doesn't fit in it either.
I got one of those Darth Vader ones that was 2 parts at Walmart or whatever, you know. You put the mask on, it was too small, so I had to
Mic check, 1, 2, 3.
Because he had a kid who wanted to be Darth Vader. I said, you know what? I've got.
No, I'm not. I'm kidding.
Wow, so rebellious.
Yep. Mic check, 1, 2, 3. Mic check, check. Hey, mic check. To repeat again, it's 0001 1101. What am I trying to say?
1101.
With coverage you can count on, this is Channel 3 Eyewitness News at 11.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us. I'm Greg Glover.
And I'm Cindy Sexton. In New York City, 8 people are dead and more than a dozen injured in what authorities are now calling a terror attack.
I hear 9 to 10 gunshots, and that's when I dug out of the way, and all the police, came running towards where I was, not knowing what's going on. They don't know what happened.
Your witnesses there describing what they saw and heard as a man in a rented pickup truck apparently barreled down a bike path in Lower Manhattan, mowing down bicyclists and pedestrians in his path. The suspect was shot by police and is in custody.
President Trump commented on the attack on Twitter, saying, "In NYC, looks like another attack by a very sick and deranged person." He continued, saying, "Not in the USA." And Tennessee Senator Bob Corker gave his condolences on Twitter. He posted, "We are praying for the victims of the tragic terror attack in New York City and thank law enforcement officials for their swift response." Much of Lower Manhattan is still locked down right now.
The FBI Terror Task Force is on the ground along with New York police. It's just the beginning of what they say will be a long and tense investigation. Here's NBC's Jay Gray with the latest from the scene. Jay.
Good evening. We now know police found a handwritten note inside the suspect's rented truck where he pledged his allegiance and said he carried out the attack here for ISIS. That's just one element in an ongoing, expanding investigation here in Lower Manhattan.
We have multiple people on the ground from Chambers all the way up to Houston.
Victims of an afternoon attack along this Lower Manhattan bike path.
It happened out of nowhere. I was walking down the street, it was a normal day, and then just multiple gunshots, one after another. I mean, it was just completely unexpected.
This rented truck barreling over bike riders, then slamming into a school bus. 8 people were killed, 11 injured.
This was an act of terror, and a particularly cowardly act of terror aimed at innocent civilians.
Carried out, police say, by 29-year-old Saifullah Saipov, an Uzbeki national. This video showing Saipov after he jumped from the truck, yelling Allah Akbar, according to police.
I saw this dude with 2 guns, and the guy with the 2 guns for some reason was running around. He was getting chased, and then all of a sudden 4 shots went off, and we all just started running.
A patrol officer shooting and stopping the suspect. He's in Bellevue Hospital right now, and to this point has refused to speak to investigators there.
It's amazing that there were not.
Now, understanding it's still very early in this investigation, police say they do believe the suspect acted alone. Federal agents saying they see nothing in his past and no ties right now to any foreign terror organizations. That's the latest live here in New York. Now back to you.
Jay, thank you. Survivors of the horrendous mass shooting in Las Vegas are being permitted to return to the scene of the crime there. Authorities are now allowing survivors to tour the Route 91 concert venue. Attorneys were also there today, with some taking mapping experts along with them. That's so they can prepare a 3D model of the scene and know where each of their clients were at the time of the shooting. Some attorneys are questioning whether the venue had adequate emergency exits.
Chattanooga police are looking for the driver who hit a child and left the scene. It happened on Dodson Avenue just after 3 this afternoon. Officers say a black 4-door sedan hit the boy as he was crossing the street. The 11-year-old has a head injury. He is expected to be okay. The suspect fled before police arrived. If you have any information on this case, call police.
The Occupational Safety and Health Administration, OSHA, is investigating Shaw Industries in Dalton, where an employee died last night. The coroner says 51-year-old Jesus Pimentel died when he was caught between 2 machines. The emergency call was received around 9 o'clock Monday night. His family has been notified. Details of just what happened are under investigation, but the death is said was the result of machinery at the facility. That plant has been temporarily shut down.
A man was arrested in Coffee County, Tennessee for trying to smuggle illegal immigrants. The Tennessee Highway Patrol says a trooper stopped a vehicle for a traffic violation on I-24 last Wednesday. The trooper asked the driver why he seemed nervous. He told the trooper he was taking immigrants from Houston to Atlanta. U.S. Homeland Security and immigration agents took custody of the 16 immigrants and the driver.
Police in Brentwood over near Nashville are searching for a man who allegedly punched a white woman who was sitting with a black man at a pub. Officers say a group of white men and women walked into the pub in Brentwood on Sunday and sat behind the couple. One person of the group apparently invited the woman to sit with them, and another member of the group told them that they were part of the White Lives Matter movement. The woman said that's when a man hit her in the face, causing a cut above her eye. White nationalist groups rallied in Shelbyville, Tennessee on Saturday.
The Walker County Sheriff's Office is searching for this man, Mark Mitchell. He was reported missing by his family last Wednesday. They say Mitchell has an outstanding probation warrant, but deputies are asking anyone with information regarding him to call them. Many Americans won't be fully aware of the opioid crisis until it hits close to home. But the national emergency has millions of Americans trapped in the tragic cycle.
More than 1,600 Tennesseans died of drug overdoses last year. EMS workers here in Hamilton County faced the battle up close. Channel 3's Tanisha Cordell has more on their encounters with those in need. Tanisha.
Well, 14 ambulances run 24 hours a day in Hamilton County. Kelly Torno and Chris Shea in Medic Unit 13 invited me to ride along with my camera. They help serve the downtown area. They say they're relieved they've only answered one heroin overdose in the past month.
No call is the same. It's never the same day.
5601 Raiders ready. North now.
As dispatch calls in, Torno drives while Shea prepares for a potential patient in the back of the ambulance. The team has 13 years of experience combined. They say having compassion for each call can be hard. It's why they take one call at a time.
Not every day is a bad day. It's not we're lucky in our district. Every day we don't have to deal with overdoses.
As opioid overdoses rise, paramedics like Torno and Shea are taking preventative measures. Their ambulance carries 6 doses of Narcan. It immediately reverses the effects of an opioid overdose, but a patient may need multiple doses. Torno says treating overdose patients can be intense.
If it's a child that got into grandma's pill bottle, is there child abuse or neglect to it? So you can get a little flustered with parents that don't keep, track of their kids or track of the medications, or the elderly that are, they don't know what they're supposed to be taking.
The Hamilton County EMS director tells us in the last 30 days, they have treated 39 patients with 49 doses of Narcan. Within the last year, they've treated 462 patients with 526 doses of Narcan. But opioids aren't always to blame.
Sometimes they're getting into blood pressure medications and they're overdosing on that, and our antidepressant medications, and even things like aspirin or Tylenol.
Whatever the case may be, Torno and Shea say they're prepared to help. Now, some pharmacies are selling Narcan over the counter, but medical experts are concerned the convenience could be abused. Now, the public health emergency that President Donald Trump put in place will last 90 days. It can be renewed until it's no longer needed. For now, live in the studio, Tanisha Cordell, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Thanks, Tanisha. Time now to send it over to Paul Barris.
He is live in the Storm Alert Center with a first look at the forecast. Paul?
All right, we'll take a look at that bus stop forecast for you, and we're going to see a lot of clouds for tomorrow to begin with, and probably off and on throughout the day, mostly cloudy to cloudy skies. Chance for rain is very slim. We are going to see an increase in clouds. Should be about 48 at 7 o'clock in the morning, by 3 o'clock in the mid-60s. And the chance for rain again is slim. Looking at the satellite photo, the clouds are moving in from the west. They're going to be moving over the entire area. The area in blue there indicates a little thicker cloudiness, so we'll see more of those clouds pushing our way. Looking at the latest Vipercast, 7 o'clock in the morning, again, cloudy skies over most of our area. Blue Ridge Mountains, not so much. Some sprinkles possibly in the northern part of the Cumberland Plateau, but drier weather at 5 o'clock with southerly winds, and then more clouds overnight tomorrow night, maybe a sprinkle here and there by Thursday morning. And into Thursday afternoon, again, a chance for a sprinkle by 5 o'clock. We'll get partly cloudy skies coming back, and then more clouds roll in back on Friday and probably into the weekend too. I've got the complete 7-day forecast. We'll tell you when our best bet for any type of rain is. That's coming up.
Paul, thank you. Still to come on Eyewitness News at 11, caught on camera. A former mayor catches a thief in the act and teaches him a lesson he won't soon forget.
Then later, the 3 giants from the tech world were grilled today on Capitol Hill about Russia's alleged attempts to influence the 2016 election using social media. The former mayor of Jackson, Mississippi, gave a thief a discipline session to remember after he caught him trying to break into his car. It was caught on camera. Former mayor Tony Yarber caught the person attempting to break into that car outside of his home. There was a fight. Yarber, though, pulled the intruder into his garage and disciplined him using a paddle. Yarber said he held the man down until police arrived. The man was arrested and charged with auto burglary and possession of marijuana.
Workers at the Cincinnati Zoo are mourning the death of a favorite hippo, the father of baby Fiona. 36-year-old Henry had been struggling with health issues and had lost hundreds of pounds. Doctors determined Henry's quality of life would not improve and decided to euthanize him. He was a sweet and gentle giant. He was quite smitten with Bibi, Fiona's mother, and for most of the summer, Henry, Bibi, and Fiona played, soaked, and napped together in their outdoor habitat.
Coming up on Eyewitness News at 11, the investigation continues into the Russian meddling of the 2016 presidential election.
Social media executives were on Capitol Hill today to testify about Russia's attempts to influence the election using ads.
With coverage you can count on, this is Channel 3 Eyewitness News at 11.
3 giants from the tech world were grilled today on Capitol Hill.
For the first time, executives from Facebook, Twitter, and Google testified publicly about Russian attempts to influence the 2016 election on their platforms. NBC's Joe Ling Kent reports tonight on posts you may have seen without realizing where they came from.
Tonight, Russia's interference in your Facebook feed revealed.
Let me start, if I could, with a political ad from Facebook.
Ads and events posted in the lead up to the 2016 presidential election.
Those ads sought to sow discord and amplify racial and social divisions among American voters.
One ad placed by a Russian group calling itself Heart of Texas falsely claimed that Hillary Clinton has a 69% disapproval rating among veterans. A second ad erroneously told Americans they could vote for Hillary by texting. Another event paid for in rubles by a Russian entity calling itself Being Patriotic invited Miners for Trump to rally in Pennsylvania a month before Election Day. These ads, shared and liked by Facebook users, were among the 3,000 targeted at American voters by Russian groups. Facebook says eventually 11.4 million people saw them.
This ad is nothing short of the Russian government directly interfering in our elections, lying to American citizens, duping folks who believe they are joining and supporting a group that is about veterans.
These ads are separate from the 80,000 fake Russia-linked posts that were shown to up to 126 million Americans in the 2 years before the election.
They've won in terms of just creating chaos in our U.S. institutions amongst political parties and social groups.
Tomorrow, the tech executives will continue testifying about how the Russians took advantage of their platforms and how they plan to stop it. Jolene Kent, NBC News, Washington.
Military officials who treated and debriefed Bo Bergdahl after his release from captivity testified at his sentencing hearing today. Yesterday's testimony included the wife of a service member who suffered a brain injury while searching for Bergdahl in Afghanistan, and testimony from Bergdahl himself, describing beatings and torture at the hands of his Taliban captors. He also apologized to those who were hurt while looking for him.
After yesterday announcing House of Cards would end after the upcoming season, today Netflix suspended production. This all follows an allegation of sexual misconduct with a teenage boy against star Kevin Spacey. Spacey stars as Frank Underwood on the acclaimed show. Netflix says it needs to review the situation. Actor Anthony Rapp has claimed that more than 30 years ago, a drunken Spacey climbed on top of him in a bed. Rapp was 14 at the time. Spacey was 26. Spacey via Twitter wrote he's horrified to hear Rapp's story and does not remember the encounter.
California's insurance commissioner says property damage losses from the deadly wildfires earlier this month now exceed $3.3 billion. The figure is significantly higher than the previous preliminary estimate of $1 billion. 43 people were killed in the October blazes that tore through Northern California, the deadliest series of fires in California history. They destroyed at least 9,000 buildings and more than 100,000 people were forced to leave. Check in with Paul Barris now. Boy, a nice Halloween night.
It really was. Didn't get too cold, and Paul, those days are getting shorter.
Every day, about 2 minutes. We're losing about 2 minutes every day. But we're going to see more clouds coming up for the rest of the week and warmer temperatures too. And best chance for any type of rain is going to be on Friday, although it looks like Thursday we could see some sprinkles too. But it looks like a whole bunch of rain moving our way. Most of it should stay to the north and west of us. Still a little bit of snow over northern Illinois, southern Wisconsin too. Some thunderstorms possible out over the bayou country of Louisiana. Currently it's 48 in the city, 45 in Cleveland, but those clouds are going to thicken up and it's going to keep the temperatures from dropping that much more. 47 in Dalton, 41 Athens, and 42 in Murphy with Blue Ridge at 48. So 66 and 40 were the high and the low for today. That's a very nice day, and it's about near normal, pretty close to what it should be this time of year. Dalton 68, 70 in Calhoun, 68 Chatsworth and Ellijay, 65 in Lafayette, 67 Tryon, Georgia, 67 also up into Cleveland, but only 57 Mowbray Mountain, while it was 61 Red Bank, East Ridge, and also in Ringgold, 65 in Ooltewah, with 66 Spring City, almost 70 in Dunlap at 69, about 61 in Cagle Mountain, Colmont 62, and Dayton at 63, 61 in Turtleton and 63 in Murphy. So you really can't complain about the temperatures today. Here's the latest Vipercast. We're right here now over the northern part of the Cumberland Plateau in Middle Tennessee. They're going to see some light rain pushing off. And then by 5 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, I think just clouds and a southerly wind. That's going to make it fairly warm for tomorrow. If we didn't have the cloud cover, we'd be definitely in the 70s, I think, all over the place. Sprinkle is possible on Thursday, but it's a small chance. Clouds stick around probably right through Thursday afternoon, Thursday night. This little frontal system gets a little bit closer. That usually means the weather will be a little unstable there, and there could be some sprinkles along that front and possibly right into Friday too. But it doesn't look like a big deal. Very, very light rains if they occur at all. And then we get into Saturday, and again, a small chance for a shower with mainly cloudy skies, maybe over North Georgia, some breaks in the clouds. So tonight we'll see the clouds moving in, 46 for the low, 65 tomorrow. Clouds will thicken up a bit. And again, a very small chance, about less than 20% chance for rain for tomorrow, about a 20% chance for tomorrow night with lows only near 55. And on the 7-day forecast, again, a small chance on Thursday at 71. Best chance will be on Friday, I think maybe about a 30% chance. And then on Saturday and Sunday, temperature is 73 to 75, and just a small chance for a shower. You get an hour's worth of sleep coming up Saturday night and Sunday morning. You get another hour, you can get a little bonus there. Monday 77 and 20% chance coming up on Tuesday. So not a lot of rain coming up at all, but warmer temperatures.
Well, thank you.
Okay.
Next in sports, a new #1. The first playoff poll is out, and Alabama doesn't lead the charge.
Let the debate begin. Plus, it's the first time two from the same conference are ranked #1 and 2. So guess what? The one is Paul Shaheen will tell you about the whole thing next.
One year, 10 months, and 26 days from third best in the SEC East to #1 in the college football nation. Kirby Smart's Year 2 message at Georgia is clear and concise in the first college football playoff poll of 2017. The Georgia Bulldogs are ranked #1 in the nation for the first time since 2008. Alabama is at #2 right now. Then it's two one-loss teams at 3 and 4. Notre Dame at 7 and 1, and Clemson at #4, also at 7 and 1. Notre Dame's lone loss came to the Georgia Bulldogs. Clemson loss to Syracuse. Oklahoma, Ohio State, Penn State, TCU, Wisconsin, and Miami round out the top 10. But remember, only the top 4 at the end make the playoff. The full list is online now and inside our app. Before the poll even came out, Georgia was projected to be, yes, in the top 2 because it's new to Kirby Smart as a head coach. He was asked how they handled it at Alabama. Smart went tongue-in-cheek.
They talk about rat poison a lot and things like that. So, but we don't really have to address if you confront it from the beginning. So the rankings that have been coming out up until this point, the AP ones are the same thing. It's just a distraction. So it's just a matter of who can manage it best and which team's mature enough to handle it, because it has zero outcome on performance on Saturday.
Georgia will play South Carolina at home on Saturday. Again, the poll has no makes no impact on that game on Saturday. It's a CBS kickoff at 3:30. The college football playoff poll is the only ranking that matters right now, but it is worth noting that CBS Sports ranks the top 130 teams each week. Tennessee comes in at number 81, one spot below their next opponent, Southern Miss, who sits at 80 out of the Conference USA. We had a chance to hear from Tennessee defensive coordinator Bob Shoop this week. Shoop didn't address any of the hot seat talk, but did open up quite a bit when talking about the frustration of being 3-5.
You know, and you know, nobody's stupid, you know, and we all know what's going on, but nobody involved is happy with the results we've had in a few weeks. Nobody. But I assure you that we came to work yesterday, corrected the issues from Kentucky, and are working as hard as we can, you know, to beat Southern Mississippi. We understand what we signed up for. When you come to coach football or play football at University of Tennessee and you put the power tee on, there's a certain level of expectation, and we understand the record doesn't match that.
On the FCS level now, it was a 1-7 team making the headlines. That 1-17, the Chattanooga Mocs, are now 2-7 after knocking off 8th-ranked Sanford, their first win against the top 10 program since 2011. It was a special game for defensive lineman Taylor Reynolds, who was playing in his hometown of Birmingham. Reynolds accounted for 2 of the Mocs' 7 forced turnovers. He had an interception and a fumble recovery.
You know, we got great pride. We want to finish this thing the right way, and you know, hopefully finish it off 3-0 and beat two top 10 teams, and it'll be huge for us. Give Coach Hars and his staff momentum going into next year, and the younger guys great offseason to look forward to, and get this thing rolling again next year.
A win at number 9 Wofford this weekend would mark the first time in school history the Mocs would beat 2 top 10 opponents in the same season. An update from the Diamond. Major League Baseball's World Series game number 6 out west in Los Angeles. The Dodgers fighting off elimination right now, leading Houston 3-1 in the 8th inning. Houston leads the series 3-2, which is why it is an elimination game for Los Angeles. Should the Dodgers hold this lead for basically 3 more outs, as I'm trying to watch from a distance, that would mean Game 7 is tomorrow night in LA.
Let's hope for a
Another
Game 7.
thriller, really, because Houston was up 1-0 for a long time.
Yes, they were.
There.
And another lookout hit a home run tonight, former lookout.
Good stuff. Paul Beers has your 7-day forecast when we get back.
Well, the real big difference for tomorrow is going to see a lot of clouds coming in. Very small chance for a shower. Best chance will be tomorrow night. Only about 20% chance, but high still into the 60s, 65 I think for the high. Thursday about 71. Best chance for rain for the next 7 days will be Friday. And the weekend looks warm. A slight chance for a sprinkle or two.
Thank you.
Our Jedi Masters, Jacob and Sam, were mixing it up for you there,
Hope
by
you
the way.
enjoyed that.
Yes, indeed.
Yes.
They're all friends again. The force is back settled between the two. On this Halloween, even the St. Louis Zoo is getting into the spirit.
Grizzly Bears Huck and Finley celebrated the first Halloween at the zoo with pumpkins filled with their favorite foods. Collie, the polar bear, wasn't left out either. Zookeepers dropped some large pumpkins into his deep pool. Maybe we'll see that there.
He could use a bath, couldn't he?
Wow. Yeah.
That's the fun, is watching those massive paws destroy
like
those
paper
pumpkins.
mache.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
they're
thanks for the
deal.
toy.
Thanks for joining us for Eyewitness News at 11.
Hope you had a great Halloween. It's November tomorrow, folks.